Have you ever imagined that a fish could get pregnant, or that a baby bird just hatched would immediately plot to kick all its siblings out of the nest? In the animal kingdom, reproduction isn't just an instinct. It's a brutal battle for survival. An arms race armed with the most bizarre, bold, and sometimes utterly terrifying tactics. A father bird standing in minus 60 degrees Celsius Antarctic blizzards, starving for months just to keep an egg warm. Or, get this, a mother toad giving birth from her own back. Sounds insane, right? Well, that's not even a half of it. Today, we're counting down the top 15 animals with the strangest reproduction methods on Earth. Before we dive in, if you're new here, do us a huge favor and smash that subscribe button, and make sure to ring that notification bell so you never miss another bizarre story. And of course, give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. All right, buckle up. The journey into the weird begins now. 15. Emperor penguin. Native only to the brutal Antarctic landscape, these tuxedo-clad birds are the largest of all penguin species, but it's their bizarre parenting method that truly sets them apart. After the female lays her one precious egg, she passes it off to her partner and vanishes into the ocean to hunt for 2 straight months. This leaves the dad with a critical mission: keep the egg alive. For the next 65 to 75 days, he balances it on his feet, tucked under a warm pouch of skin, and doesn't eat a single thing while braving hurricane force winds and bone-chilling temperatures. So, how does he possibly survive? Teamwork. Thousands of these dedicated fathers huddle together in one massive group, constantly rotating positions to ensure everyone gets a chance in the warm center. It's the ultimate fatherly support group. And when the mother finally returns, how do they find each other in a deafening crowd of thousands? Each penguin has a unique 2-part call, a vocal signature that allows mates and their newly hatched chick to reunite. In a final act of fatherly devotion, if the mother is delayed, the male can produce a special, protein-rich milk from his esophagus to give the chick its very first meal. 14. Cuckoo. You'll find these medium-sized birds all over the planet. But don't let their famous cuckoo call fool you. They've perfected the art of outsourcing parenthood. The female is a brood parasite, which is a scientific way of saying she's a nesting ninja. Instead of building her own, she spies on a smaller bird, waits for the parents to leave, and then pulls a fast one, laying her own egg in their nest before taking off for good. But here's where it gets truly wild. The cuckoo chick is basically born a tiny villain. It's hardwired to hatch before its nest mates, and the moment it's free, it begins its single-minded mission, using its bare back to literally push all the other eggs and chicks out of the nest. This brutal tactic guarantees that the unsuspecting foster parents devote all their energy to feeding the one giant imposter baby they think is their own. And the deception is even more elaborate than it seems. The female cuckoo is a master forger. Her egg often perfectly mimics the size, color, and speckling of her chosen host's eggs, making it nearly impossible for the parents to spot the intruder. But the chick has one more trick up its sleeve. Its begging call is a supernormal stimulus, a single frantic chirp so intense it mimics the sound of an entire brood of the host's young, compelling the foster parents to bring it an enormous amount of food. 13. Honeybee. We all know them for their delicious honey, but their colony life is where things get really crazy. In any given hive, there's only one individual who gets to reproduce, the queen bee. This isn't just a title. She's a literal egg-laying machine, cranking out up to 2,000 eggs every single day. But here's the real kicker. She controls the gender of every single baby. By choosing whether or not to fertilize an egg, she decides if it becomes a female worker or a male drone. So what's the deal with the drones? This is where it gets brutal. A drone's entire existence boils down to one mission: mate with a queen. If he actually succeeds, he dies instantly in the process. And what about all the unsuccessful ones? They're seen as a drain on resources, so when winter comes, the female workers kick them out of the hive to starve. Talk about a use 'em and lose 'em lifestyle. 12. Jawfish. These small, colorful fish live in burrows on the seafloor. but it's their family life that's truly mind-blowing. The jawfish dad is the definition of a mouth-on parent. After the female lays her eggs, he sucks the entire batch into his mouth and holds them there until they're ready to hatch. This means he can't eat a single thing the whole time. He literally has to swallow his responsibilities. And get this, he's not just a storage unit. To make sure his kids stay healthy, he constantly tumbles them around and even spits them out into the water for a moment before sucking them right back in. This little maneuver is a genius way to give the eggs a fresh supply of oxygen. It's the ultimate all-in-one mobile nursery, and their remarkable mouth skills extend beyond parenting. A jawfish is also an expert architect, using its mouth as a personal excavator to dig its burrow, carefully spitting out sand and rubble one mouthful at a time. They'll often meticulously arrange shells and small stones around the entrance to fortify their home. This burrow is their entire world, and they rarely stray far from it, often just hovering with their heads, poking out to scan for food and predators. When the big day finally arrives, the father's job culminates in a spectacular finale. He opens his mouth wide and a cloud of tiny, independent fry erupts into the water column, ready to start their own lives. It's a jaw-dropping graduation ceremony. 11. Maleo. This bizarre, chicken-like bird from Indonesia has a brilliant life hack for raising kids. Just don't do it. Instead of sitting on an egg for weeks, the maleo uses a set-it-and-forget-it strategy. It harnesses the Earth's natural heat, digging a deep hole in the warm volcanic sand, laying its massive egg inside, and then just leaving. The planet does all the incubation work. But here's where the story gets truly insane: the chick. After hatching far underground, the baby maleo has to dig its own way to freedom. And the second it pops out onto the surface, it's not chirping for mom. It's fully feathered and can fly. The secret to this incredible feat of self-sufficiency lies in the egg itself. It's disproportionately massive, about 5 to 6 times the size of a chicken's egg, and is packed almost entirely with yolk. This super-rich energy source is the launch fuel that powers the chick's marathon dig and its inaugural flight. And despite this seemingly hands-off approach to their offspring, maleos are surprisingly dedicated in other ways. They are famously monogamous, forming lifelong pair bonds. This devoted couple will often travel for many kilometers together, returning to the same communal nesting grounds, prime real estate with the perfect geothermal heat or sun-baked sand, to share the exhausting work of digging their deep nest. So while they may not be doting parents, they are incredibly faithful partners. 10. European eel. These snake-like fish spend most of their lives just hanging out in the freshwater rivers of Europe. But when it's time to breed, an ancient instinct kicks in, sending them on an insane journey. They swim thousands of miles across the ocean to the Sargasso Sea for a massive spawning event. And here's the shocking part. After they spawn, every single one of them dies. It's a one-way ticket. But the story gets even crazier. They're tiny. See-through babies are then carried by the ocean currents all the way back to Europe. This return trip can take up to 3 years, and somehow, these tiny larvae find their way back to the very rivers their parents came from. It's a mysterious and tragic round trip dictated entirely by destiny. This journey involves a stunning series of metamorphoses. The tiny larvae, known as leptocephali, are completely transparent and leaf-shaped, looking nothing like their parents. As they approach the European coast, they transform into glass eels, still transparent, but now eel-shaped. And the transformation of the adults heading out is just as dramatic. In a process called silvering, their bodies undergo a complete overhaul for the deep ocean. Their eyes enlarge to capture faint light in the abyss. Their skin turns dark on top and silvery below for camouflage. And most incredibly, their digestive system shuts down completely. They become pure swimming machines, fueled only by their fat reserves for the entire 5,000-kilometer swim. For centuries, no one had ever witnessed them spawning, making their origin one of biology's greatest mysteries. 9. Praying mantis. Known for their iconic praying pose, these insects are absolute masters of the ambush. But their love life is where things get truly insane. During their version of a date, the much larger female will often turn around and eat her partner head first. This isn't an accident. It's a strategy called sexual cannibalism. And here's the most mind-blowing, horrifying part. The male's body can still finish the job even after its head has been bitten off. Why this nightmare fuel? That morbid meal gives the female a critical protein boost, making her eggs stronger and more likely to survive. It's a true case of sacrificing the dad to strengthen the kids in the most literal way possible. But their lethal design goes far beyond their love life. A mantis is the only insect that can turn its head a full 180 degrees, giving it a near-perfect view of its surroundings. To help with this, it has 5 eyes, 2 large compound eyes for spotting movement, and 3 smaller, simple eyes in between them to detect light. They are also masters of disguise, with some species mimicking flowers so perfectly that other insects will land on them, only to be snapped up by their lightning-fast, spiky forelegs. And that headless mating? It's even more bizarre than it sounds. The male's brain can sometimes inhibit the final act of mating, so the female's decapitation actually releases the nerve impulses in his abdomen, ensuring the successful transfer of genetic material. It's a truly alien level of biological programming. 8. Sand tiger shark. This fearsome-looking shark might be found all over the world, but its claim to fame is a real-life battle royale that happens before birth. Here's how it goes down. The mother has 2 uteruses, and inside each one, the first embryo to get ahead goes on a rampage. It literally eats all of its brothers and sisters in the womb. This isn't a freak accident. It's a survival of the fittest strategy called intrauterine cannibalism. This brutal competition guarantees that only the top champion from each side gets the ultimate prize, a ticket to the outside world. So, when the 2 pups are finally born, they're already seasoned killers, emerging from the womb as proven predators ready to hunt from day 1. 7. Seahorse. You know these unique little fish for their horse-like heads, but their family life is where things get truly wild. In the seahorse world, the roles are completely flipped. After an elaborate underwater dance, the female deposits her eggs directly into a built-in baby pouch on the male's stomach. He fertilizes them, and boom, he's pregnant. But the most mind-blowing part is the birth. When it's time to deliver, the father seahorse goes into full-on labor, with intense contractions that blast hundreds of tiny, perfect seahorses out into the water. It literally looks like a biological machine gun firing off live rounds. An unforgettable and explosive end to one of nature's strangest pregnancies. And their unique biology is just as strange as their parenting. These pairs are often famously monogamous and will greet each other daily with a color-changing dance to reinforce their bond. Despite being fish, they're terrible swimmers, relying on a tiny dorsal fin that flutters up to 50 times per second just to move. To avoid being swept away, they use that curly, prehensile tail like a monkey, anchoring themselves to seagrass and coral. They are also voracious ambush predators with no teeth and no stomach. They simply slurp prey through their snouts and must eat almost constantly to stay alive. To top it off, their eyes can move independently of each other, allowing them to look forward and backward at the same time. Perfect for spotting both a tasty shrimp and a potential predator. 6. Darwin's frog. This tiny frog from Chile and Argentina has a parenting move that will blow your mind. After the eggs are fertilized, the dad does something absolutely insane. He literally swallows his kids. But he's not having them for lunch. He stores the entire batch in his vocal sac, which essentially becomes a built-in daycare center in his throat. This keeps the tadpoles 100% safe from danger. And here's the best part, the delivery. When the babies are all grown up, the dad just burps them out. It looks like a weird case of the hiccups as he spits out fully formed, ready to go froglets one after another. You can't make this stuff up. 5. Pacific salmon. These powerful fish spend their adult years out in the open Pacific Ocean. But when it's time to breed, a switch flips, sending them on a grueling return trip. This isn't a casual swim. They're literally leaping up waterfalls and escaping predators, all on a one-way ticket back to the exact stream where they hatched. After that insane journey, they finally make it home, lay their eggs, and then they die. Every single one. But here's the incredible part. Their death is their final gift. Their bodies break down, releasing a flood of nutrients into the river that feeds the entire ecosystem, including the very eggs they just laid. It's the ultimate sacrifice, ensuring the family line continues in the most dramatic way imaginable. 4. Garden snail. You see these slowpokes all the time and probably think they're pretty boring, right? Well, think again, because their love life is shockingly violent. First off, snails are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female parts. But here's where it gets wild, the foreplay. Before they get down to business, many snails will try to literally stab each other with something called a love dart, a sharp little calcium spear. So why the stabbing? This isn't just for show. The dart injects a special hormone into the victim that makes it much more likely to accept the stabber's sperm. It's a calculated chemical courtship designed to make sure their genes win. Talk about a toxic relationship. But their strangeness doesn't end with their romantic life. For starters, a snail's mouth hides a horrifying secret, the radula. A tongue-like ribbon lined with up to 14,000 microscopic teeth, which works like a conveyor belt to shred food. That famous slime trail isn't just goo. It's a liquid crystal that allows them to glide effortlessly and even defy gravity by creating a powerful suction, letting them climb walls and hang upside down. And what about their iconic eye stalks? They can be regenerated if bitten off by a predator. To top it all off, after their violent courtship, both snails can become pregnant and lay eggs. And they can even store sperm for up to a year, waiting for the perfect time to fertilize their eggs. It's a slow-motion soap opera playing out in your backyard. 3. The whiptail lizard. Native to the deserts of North America, some species of this lizard have populations that are 100% female. So how do they keep the family line going? Through a process called parthenogenesis, which basically means they clone themselves. The mother gives birth to daughters that are her exact genetic duplicates. No dads required. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. Even though there are no males and no need to mate, they still do it with each other. One female will mount another in an act of pseudo-mating. Why? This behavior actually tricks the other female's body into starting ovulation and getting her eggs ready. It's a sisterhood so powerful. They don't just support each other. They literally help each other create new life. 2. Surinam toad. This incredibly bizarre, flat as a pancake aquatic toad from South America has a parenting method that is pure nightmare fuel. After mating, the male shoves the fertilized eggs onto the female's back. Her skin then literally swallows them up, growing over each one and turning her back into a creepy, hole-filled, honeycomb-like surface. But the finale is where it goes from weird to terrifying. When it's time to be born, the fully formed babies don't hatch. They punch their way out, bursting directly through the skin of their mother's back. This is hands down one of the freakiest, most trypophobia-inducing sights nature has ever produced. Don't say we didn't warn you. 1. Anglerfish. Meet the anglerfish. You know that creepy glowing light they use to hunt in the pitch-black ocean? Well, their dating life is infinitely weirder. Finding a partner in that endless darkness is nearly impossible, so they evolved an absolutely insane solution. When a tiny male finally finds a massive female, he bites on and holds on for dear life. And this is where it goes completely off the rails. He begins to fuse with her. Their skin and blood vessels merge. His body literally withers away. He loses his eyes, his fins, all his internal organs, until he's nothing more than a pair of testes permanently grafted on her side. He becomes a parasitic sperm factory for the rest of his life, ready to go whenever she is. You want to talk about a clingy partner? This guy takes it to a whole new level. Wow, from self-sacrificing fathers and master manipulators to lifelong parasitic relationships. Mother Nature truly never, ever ceases to amaze and shock us. So, which of these reproductive strategies blew your mind the most? If you found this video as fascinating and shocking as we did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us out. And be sure to click on one of the videos on your screen right now to discover more incredible animal stories waiting for you. This is a powerful reminder that the natural world is, and always will be, far stranger and more wondrous than we can ever imagine. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next wild adventure.